Good morning, Meta. It is great to worship with you on Mother's Day. I'm so thankful for all mothers and would like to bless you. May God grant you wisdom and grace that you would continue to have good relationship with your children. We'll continue family relations in a Stay-at-Home World series. And our topic today is Mother's Unfailing Love. Talk about mother-child relationship. Everyone has a mother. This is my mother who lives in Hong Kong and is now 93 years old. I'm so thankful that I visited her this year in January. Not only we all have mothers, and many of us are mothers. I am a mother, and this is the picture taken 2 years ago. My daughter invited me to tea tasting to celebrate my birthday, and we had great time together. In this world, mother's love is the best reflection of God's sacrificial and perfect love. But mothers are human with her limitation, emotions, and weaknesses. So the sacrificial love of mother is not perfect, and they need to be filled with God's perfect and unconditional love. Your relationship with your mother not only affect your childhood, but also shape you today, including your self-image, marriage, and interpersonal relationship patterns. This relationship is very complicated because from your birth to an adult, it is constantly changing. When you were young, your parents took care of you, fed you, and disciplined you. When you are a teenager, you look for identity and independence, hoping that your parents would give you more space to learn to be autonomous and responsible. As an adult, you long for your parents to respect you, respect your independence and thoughts, and to treat you as an adult, not as a little kid. As your parents grow older and cannot take care of themselves, you may become a caregiver, taking care of their needs. Since the parent-child relationship is a dynamic process, both mothers and child must constantly learn and need God's wisdom and teaching in order to adjust their mentality, practices, and responses in different stages of life. Then they will continue to build healthy relationship through mutual interaction to become a blessings to each other and a blessings to others. How is your relationship with your mother? I want to ask. A survey indicates that every 6 seconds, an adult experiences negative emotions such as anger, guilt, fear in interacting with his or her mother. I believe most people want to have a healthy and satisfied relationship with their mother, who is the most important person in their life. Now let's look at a mother in Old Testament who is the mother of Israelite. That is Rebecca. She had twin sons. I believe she loved them very much. And during her motherhood, she experienced many difficulties, pain, conflicts with her son. We'll look at Rebecca's experiences from Genesis 25, chapter 25, and learn about two aspects of love, which will help us building better parent-child relationship. The first love that surpasses pain. Genesis chapter 25, verses 20 to 23. Let's read it together. And Isaac was 40 years old when he married Rebekah, daughter of Bethuel, the Aramean of Padan Aram, sister of Laban the Aramean. Isaac prayed to the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord granted his prayer, and his wife Rebekah conceived. The children struggled together within her, and she said, "If it is to be this way, why do I live?" So she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said to her, "Two nations in your womb, and two peoples born of you shall be divided, and the one shall be stronger than the other. The elder shall serve the younger. From this passage, we see that after Rebecca got married, she encounters the same dilemma as her mother-in-law, Sarah, could not bear children. She thought, isn't my husband Isaac the promised son? Didn't God promise his father, I will make your offspring as numerous as the stars of the heaven and as the sand that is on the seashore? Where is the promise? Month after month, year after year, her expectation fell through. Waiting became so disappointed. She waited and waited for almost 2 decades and was still barren. What a painful life. Rebecca cried, maybe, and felt depressed, complained to her husband, and thought, what if I never have any children in my life? If it is to be this way, why do I live? What could she do in such great pain? Some of us might empathize her pain and disappointment. Then Isaac, her husband, prayed for her, prayed to the Lord, and the Lord actually granted his prayer. His wife Rebecca conceived. Wow. After 20 years of waiting for a baby, now she's even having twins. She was thrilled. Her joy lasts only a short while because we learn that children struggle together within her. That experience is what causes her to ask the question that is still relevant to our day. If it is to be this way, why do I live? Rebecca's infertility pain just passed, and she fell into another pain immediately. It's as if her suffering is eternal and inescapable. I would like to ask mothers, how was your pregnancy? Was it as painful as Rebecca, with severe nausea, vomiting, or fortunately, not that bad? I remember when I was pregnant with my twin daughters, I had bed rest for the first 2 months, and by the 7th month, I couldn't sleep on bed flat because my belly was too big, and could not sleep on the side either because one baby on the right and the other on the left. They refused to stay under the other. So I had to sleep on the sofa. I also had high blood pressure that I had to wear shoes 2 sizes bigger. I must admit, at that time, I was miserable. I dare not to complain to God, but I did complain to my husband, and very thankfully, he listened patiently and pointed me back to God. How did Rebecca face the pain of having a baby? Genesis 25, verse 22. The children struggled together within her, and she said, if it is to be this way, why do I live? So she went to inquire of the Lord. Inquire here has an active meaning. That means Rebecca took the initiative to pray to the Lord. Active prayer to God is the best way to go beyond suffering. God answered her, 2 nations are in your womb, and 2 people born of you shall be divided. The one shall be stronger than the other. The elder shall serve the younger. God not only listened to Rebecca's prayer, he told her that she would have twins, and also told her what he would accomplish in her children in the future. That 2 countries were in her womb, Edom and Israel. She might not have even understood what was happening, but nations were a product of Rebecca's life. Her life was more than her life. There was a larger purpose within her that went beyond her because even during struggle, God was at work in and through her in the larger story of salvation of the world. God changed her focus from the pain of pregnancy to what God would do in her son in the future. Feeling the love and care of God with a larger goal and mission, Rebecca knew that her life was more than what she thought. Understand that she had great responsibility and knew why she lived. So she had strength to endure the pain of pregnancy until the babies were born. We must ask ourselves also, if it is to be this way, why do I live? If it is to be this way, this path, this way of life, and the path I must travel, some may say, during the stay-at-home order, my family is in chaos. I am now unemployed, have no money. My parents had dementia. I struggle with mental illness. If this is to be the way, if it is to be this way, why should I live? Like Rebecca, we may not understand our life situation and ask, why do I live? Some may say, I live to take care of my children. I live to serve and do good. I live to find a cure for cancer. I live to work, earning money to support my family. I live to eat, drink, and be merry. Well, some of these are noble goals, but the reason for Christians to live has to do with God and what God desires for the redemption of the world. Galatians 2:20 says, I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ lives in me. And the life I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. It is God's great love for us that Christ died on the cross for our sin and was raised from the dead, so that whoever believes in Jesus will be forgiven. We are not our own, but belong to God. We live for God and to glorify Him. During the stay-at-home order and now this is new normal life, families are still facing many different challenges and stress. A survey of parents with children under the age of 12 reported that during the stay-at-home order, conflicts in the families increased. 4 in 10 parents had shout, scream, and yell at their kids during the past 2 weeks. 1 in 6 said they had spanked their children in the past 2 weeks, and 11% of them said they had done it a few times or more. May God help these parents to actively seek Him, and God, who is faithful and reliable, will surely come to their aid. This survey also mentioned about a routine life will greatly help families' relationship. I encourage every one of you to make a schedule and discuss your schedule with family members to build a better routine life to minimize conflicts. The power of a good routine video I produced a few weeks ago may help you. You may find it in church family webpage. Rebecca's conceived remind us 3 important things. First, God is not only a life giver, He is the creator of all things. He made men and women and set up the marriage and family. The Bible says, therefore, a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. In ancient Israel, sons did not move away when they married, but lived nearby, near their parents. Leave his father and mother means that he must be mature, independent and responsible, break away from parental supervision, and establish a new family with his wife. Well, of course, wife have to be mature and independent also. This also means a man and a woman who want to marry must know that when they have children in the future, it is important to cultivate their children to be independent and mature. And number two, God listens to prayer. God give Isaac and Rebekah children. Psalm 127:3. Children are a heritage from the Lord, the fruit of the womb, a reward. Children belong to God, and parents are only stewards who manage children for God. Therefore, parents should be united and bring them up to be independent, mature, and responsible in the training and instruction of the Lord. Number three, the baby begins the attachment bond with his or her mother when she conceived. 40 weeks in the mother's womb, he develops a unique, strong emotional connection. This healthy attachment not only provides the baby with an internal mode for exploring the environment in the future, but also gives him or her a sense of security, basic trust, love, and sense of belonging. In the reality of life, the two most common and unhealthy mother-child relationships are too close or too distant. These two relationships will bring heavy and unreasonable psychological pressures to the child and will affect his or her relationship with the spouse in the future. Because of this relationship, mother has harder time to let go of her children than fathers. We have heard about terrible too, right? To my opinion, 2 years old is not terrible at all. Actually, it is only the beginning of a child learning to be independent. Look at this picture of Ada and Micah, my grandchildren. 2 years old need to learn a lot of things. Need to learn to eat by themselves, need to put on shoes, take off shoes, and dress themselves and clean up. So much to learn and to be trained. And mothers usually have harder time to let them to be independent. And I'm so proud of my daughter Hannah, who has so far, I think, done a great job in this respect. Well, of course, Nathan too. I remember once we got home after grocery shopping and unload the stuff from the trunk, and as my daughter tried to close the trunk, and then I just said, "Let me do it." And right away, I sensed something was wrong. The Holy Spirit reminded me that my daughter is a grown up now. She can close the trunk herself. Thank you, God, for reminding me and giving me courage to apologize to her immediately. She forgave me. Letting go of children completely and treating them as an adult are not that easy. And at times, I still need God's reminder and help. 10 years ago, I visited my parents in Hong Kong, and my mother complains about my hair being too long. After hearing her complain several times, I felt annoyed and felt I was treated like a little girl. After praying, I was reminded that I need to be gentle yet assertive to express my thoughts and feelings. The next day, yes, again, my mother said it to me. Again. So I smiled and said to her, "Ma, it sounds like you really like short hair. Very short hair, isn't it?" And she said, "Short hair is good and fresh and easy to take care of. Yes, I love it." Then I respond to her. I said, "I'm so glad you like short hair. But for me, I'm not that comfortable with short hair. I really like the hair with this link right now. And I said, our preference is different and it is okay, right? And she responded, yes, it is okay. So it ended up our conversation turned out to be very pleasant. Adult children's response can lead changes in the dialogue pattern with their parents. The great love and mercy of God can completely surpass our witness and pain and help us to continue to grow in our relationship with our children or with our parents. After talking about love that surpasses pain, let's look at love that surpasses favoritism. Favoritism is very common at home. Parents' favoritism affects their children. Not only does it hurt their children and affect their self esteem, but also easily leads to sibling rivalry and causes them to distrust people when they grow up. Conversely, for spoiled children, because they often get more than they deserve, it is very easy to develop a speculative outlook on their life. Let's read Genesis chapter 25, verse 24 to 28 together. When her time to give birth was at hand, there was twins in her womb. The first came out red, all his body like a hairy mantle, so they named him Esau. Afterward, his brother came out, with his hand gripping Esau's heel, so he was named Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when she bore them. When the boys grew up, Esau was a skillful hunter, a man of the field, while Jacob was a quiet man living in tents. Isaac loved Esau because he was fond of game, but Rebekah loved Jacob. The introverted father, Isaac, loved the extroverted son, Esau, while the mother, extroverted, Rebekah, loved the introverted son, Jacob. Isaac loved Esau because he was fond of game, and it didn't mention about why Rebekah loved Jacob. From the context, the reasons may be because of Rebekah's personality, her own personality and preferences, and because Jacob is quiet and obedient, listen to her, and stay home a lot and spend time with her. It may be also because she knew that Jacob would be stronger than Esau. Due to parents' favoritism, Rebekah's relationship with Esau very distant. And her relationship with Jacob was too close. These relationships affect the whole family dynamic. We all know that the red bean stew story, right? Jacob didn't share his stew with his brother like normal sibling. Instead, he asked his brother to sell his birthright to him for a bowl of stew. Rebekah, because of her preference for Jacob, commanded him to deceive his aged father to receive his blessing. Esau was mad after he found out and wanted to kill his brother. And Rebekah said, "Why should I lose both of you in one day?" And she had to send Jacob away to her hometown. And she could never see him again in her lifetime. The price of favoritism is way too high. A favorite child has never been a winner in life. So, how to minimize favoritism? Because of sin and self-centeredness, there will be competition and comparison between children. Each child hopes parents would love him or her the most. So remember, your child asks you, "Do you love me most?" And they will fight, and is fighting for parental attention. So some child will be very obedient, and get your praise all the time. And if one child cannot be as good as his sister, cannot get positive attention, he might just behave badly, and let you scold at him. So they get the negative attention better than none. So we have to be careful. And siblings will compare each other too. They will see who have higher score, who is better grade. And for twins are more obviously in this regard. So parents need to try hard to minimize their competition and jealousy. There are two effective ways we used when we raise our daughters. The first one, when my daughters were young, both my husband and I start to date each of them, spend time with them individually to give them positive attention and special care. And last year, my daughters asked their dad what he wanted to do with them on his birthday. And it ended up, he said, I like pizza. So they had pizza together and watch a movie. I'm so thankful. And the second method, when we look at their report card or when they misbehave, we need to discipline them. We always did it separately. Try not to do it in front of the other. These ways help to minimize comparison and competition. In a survey, 84% of people said that during their growing up, one or more of their parents play favorites. Mothers, let us honestly examine our heart. If we constantly favor one child over another, we must first ask God for forgiveness and let Him change our mindset. Children are given by God and we are stewards. They are each unique and precious in God's sight. May God help us to learn to love them with God's unconditional love. If you have been hurt by parents' favoritism and live in a misery, pain, and resentment, I encourage you, like Rebecca, you can take the initiative to pray to God. He is the God who listens to our prayer and would heal your scar with His great love. So now, what should we do? From the passage we have read, Isaac prayed to the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord granted his prayer, and his wife Rebecca conceived, and Rebecca suffered great pain when the baby struggled together within her. She actively prayed to God, who answered her request. So taking initiative to pray to God is what we need to do. To his wife, what can a husband do? Husband can take the initiative, not only care for his wife, also spend time to listen to her feeling, support her, and ask her what you can do. Don't help her with your own idea. She may not need your help doing anything. She probably only need you to listen to her. You can pray for her and invite her to pray with you together. Husband and wife must join together with God's wisdom to raise their children. Otherwise, it will be like Isaac and Rebecca's family. Serious issue will happen. A few weeks ago, I asked some mom what would they like to have for this Mother's Day. And guess what? They said, couple of hours just by myself. I need alone and quiet time. To their mother, what can children do? Teenagers, older, and adult children can spend an hour or two to talk with your mother, tell her what's going on in your life and your feeling, or listen to your mom. Maybe do it once a week or once every 2 weeks. Even once a month will do. If you are living with your parents, your mom in the same house, I suggest that you consider to do a schedule and discuss with your mom with the whole family members, all the family members. A good routine is powerful to minimize the conflict and misunderstanding. Of course, always pray for your mom and ask God to give her wisdom to live a life pleasing to God. The last one, to yourself, what should you do? Draw close to God every day and be willing to live for Him. May His word be your guide every day. Give you grace and joyful heart that you may sense and enjoy His presence. If your relationship with your mother or family members is tense, distant, or broken, pray that God will give you wisdom and strength to seek forgiveness, to restore the relationship. Isaiah 49:15. Can a woman forget her nursing child, that she should have no compassion on the son of her womb? Even this may forget, yet I will never forget you. This verse points out that a mother should love her child very much, but sometimes she can make mistakes and even hurts her child. But even then, God says, I don't forget you, and God's love and grace surpass a mother's witness. I am the one blessed by this wonderful grace of God. I have tried my best on my responsibility of motherhood, but whatever areas I failed were covered by God's grace. Now my daughters are married, and the two couples continue to grow in the Lord and serve Him. I thank God for the continuously giving me opportunities to learn and grow, especially in getting along with adult children and being a grandparent. So pray that the Lord will help us to learn together and grow together so that our life can glorify our amazing God. Let's pray together. Dear God, we praise you for you are good, loving, and powerful. Thank you for giving us mothers. Thank you for today that we be able to talk about mother-child relationship. Father, you know us. You know our needs and you know our brokenness. Father, would you draw us to you with humility, to seek you, to seek your forgiveness, so that we be able to reconcile with our family members. Father, would you examine our heart, change our heart and change our mind, that we be able to continue to build better relationship. Thank you for loving us as we are. Father, we love you, and in Jesus' name we pray. Now receive the benediction. May God Himself, the God of peace, sanctify you through and through. May your whole spirit, soul, and body be kept blameless at the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ. The one who calls you is faithful, and He will do it. This concludes our service today. Thank you for joining us.